Welcome back to the dojo. This is a white belt lesson. Here's some code you've almost certainly written and almost certainly regretted. A class with a public field. Just a variable, hanging out in the open, that anyone can reach in and change to anything they like. It works until the day someone sets it to something impossible, and there's nothing your class can do to stop them. Today we fix that. Fields versus properties. What the difference actually is, and when to reach for each. This one assumes you already know what a class is. If that's shaky, watch my white belt lesson, What is a Class, first. It's linked below. Everyone else, let's train. Think of your class as a dojo with a front desk. A field is like leaving the sign-in sheet out on the doorstep. Anyone walking past can scribble anything on it, and no one's checking. A property is the receptionist at the desk. The same information still changes hands, but now someone stands between the outside world and your data. They can check the request, reject what doesn't belong, and quietly change how things work behind the desk without the visitor ever noticing. Field store, properties guard. So here's the smell. A public field looks harmless. It's less typing. It just works. But you've handed out a key to your class's internals with no lock on the door. There's no way to validate what comes in. No way to make it read-only later. And the moment you decide you do need to check, say, no temperatures below absolute zero, you have to turn that field into a property, and code that relied on it may have to change too. A public field is a promise you don't want to make. The fix is the property. A property looks like a field to the outside world. You read it and assign it the exact same way. But inside, it's really a pair of tiny methods, a getter and a setter. That's the whole trick. Because they're methods, you can put logic inside them. Validate, compute, log, make something read-only. And here's the best part. For the simple cases where you don't need any logic yet, C# lets you write an auto property, and the compiler generates the hidden storage for you. You get the safety of a property with the brevity of a field. Why does this matter beyond tidiness? 3 reasons. First, encapsulation. Your class controls its own data instead of trusting everyone to behave. Second, you can change your mind. A property lets you add validation or change how a value is stored later without breaking a single collar. Third, the ecosystem expects it. Serializers, data binding, and countless frameworks look for properties, not fields. Expose a field, and you quietly lock yourself out of half the toolbox. Properties are the front door C# was built around. Let's build it. Here's the smell first. A temperature class with a single public field, Celsius. Anyone can set it to anything. Minus 300 degrees? Sure. Below absolute zero, which is physically impossible? The field doesn't care. That's what we're solving. Now the property version. We start with a private field, _-Celsius. That underscore prefix is the convention for a private backing field. It's the real storage, hidden inside the class. Nobody outside touches it directly. Then, the public property, Celsius. The getter simply hands back the field. The setter simply stores it. Same behavior as before, but now there's a doorway we can put a guard in. Here's the guard. Before we store the value, we check it. If it's below absolute zero, we throw. We refuse the bad data at the door. Only a valid value ever reaches the field. The caller still just writes Celsius equals 25. They never see the rule. They only feel it when they break it. For a property that needs no logic, all that is overkill. So here's the auto property, name with get and set and no body. The compiler writes the hidden backing field for you. It's a field's brevity with a property's future. The day you need validation, you expand it, and callers never know the difference. Sometimes you don't want a stored value at all. Fahrenheit here is a computed property. No backing field, just an expression. It reads the Celsius field and does the conversion every time it's asked. Derived data like this should be computed, never stored, so it can never drift out of sync with the value it depends on. ID here uses init instead of set. You can assign it once when the object is created and never again. It's perfect for identity. Set on creation, read only for life. A plain field can't give you that gradient of control. A property can. The mistakes everyone makes. 1. Public fields on anything that outlives a throwaway script. You're giving up control you'll want back. 2. Reaching for a full property with a backing field when a plain auto property would do. Don't add ceremony you don't need. 3. The opposite. Cramming heavy work into a getter. A property should feel instant. If it's doing real work, make it a method so callers know. 4. Exposing a mutable collection through a property and thinking it's safe. The property guards the reference, not the contents. Anyone can still add to the list. Hand out a read-only view instead. So, field store, properties guard. Default to auto properties for your public data. Drop to a backing field only when you need validation, computation, or control. And keep genuine internal state in private fields, where it belongs. This week's drill. Open one of your own classes, find a public field, and turn it into a property. Then give its setter one rule it can enforce. That single change is the difference between hoping your data is valid and knowing it is. If this lesson helped you, subscribe. Train hard. See you in the dojo.